So when we log out today, what do we do?
Yeah.
We're on live everywhere?
Yeah.
Okay, can you get the full screen up here? You've already put
this is full screen.
You've already put this PowerPoint on there.
Mm-hmm.
So
There we go.
Yeah, they can see.
Okay, where do they see me at? I don't see. Where can I see chat?
This is the chat over here.
Okay, all right. I assume everybody's on. Good morning, I think. Everybody, can you hit me up? Do you see me? Zoom is on. Yep, okay. Live in a few minutes already. From Denver, hey, shout out where you guys are coming from. Stan, I see you. I see some Arizona, Hartford, Connecticut, West Palm Beach. Hi, Gene. How are you doing? Let's see who else is on there. Chris Hope on there. Derek from Las Vegas, Orange County, Miami, New Jersey. You guys are killing it. Oh, Ontario. Nobody's from Newport Beach except you, Lisa. Can you hear me, Lisa?
I can hear you.
Okay, I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't.
It's nice and sunny here, so that's good news.
Okay, everybody, let's see where else we got. Myrtle Beach, Houston, Texas, Louisiana, Orange County, Seattle, Washington, Detroit, Michigan. Lots of people today. That's good. Chris says, I'm near Newport Beach. That must be Costa Mesa. So Riverside, California, Seattle, Washington again. Atlanta, which is going to be one of our markets we're going to talk about today. Let's get started here in a minute. If everybody's really pretty much on board, let me see what time it is. We've got a lot of ground to cover. Before I introduce Lisa and Shanna, I want to just kind of walk you through some of the things that you're going to be seeing today and how we're going to take this approach. This is a big bite that we're going to do by taking on 3 markets right away. So it's a process, and the process is really going to be first is about training. If we don't train you right over the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 days, whatever it's going to take to get all these different programs in, we're not going to be successful at all. And I know everybody wants to go to work right now, but right now we shoot ourselves in the foot. So we're going to talk about what does it take to really win, and it takes a lot of discipline and focus and a focused rollout strategy. So by taking on 3 markets, it seems like a lot, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and then Atlanta and Houston. But what that really encompasses is about 28,000 people that have signed up with us. And this is why it really takes a lot of focus and really understanding the granular part of those markets to get people trained so they can go out and register restaurants and how important that is. So the key to me is training, because once we train you, then you can train other people. There'll be videos made in all these other types of ancillary products that you're going to be using, whether it's Verb or whatever type product that we have available for you. Some of the training that I hope was going to be done today is not done. The guy who does all our training had some issues earlier in the week. He's not doing well. So we've just put that on the back burner until he gets back in next week, hopefully. But it's going to be in Spanish. I already sent the copy off, so it can be executed in Spanish also besides English. But you'll see some training today. Obviously, we're going to show you how to onboard a driver, how to onboard a rider, how to onboard a restaurant, how to make a order through the restaurant system, and how to collect the funds and all that stuff. Now, what you're going to see today is a working apps. They're all working up and running. This was videoed off the working apps, all of this stuff. The reason we videoed it is Shanna is on her way up to Oklahoma right now, and she's giving the presentation. So she's actually in the car. And so it'd be very difficult for her to do a live presentation. But it's live, the apps are working, all that stuff, and I'll walk you through some of the other things that are going on. One of the things we're going to do after this webinar next week, one day, I haven't announced it yet, we're going to do what I call a tour of the driver referral partner dashboard, which is basically your resource center that shows your commissions, your stock options. It'll show you your profile, what people are in your that your hierarchy you're connected to. All of those things are in there, along with all of the resource documents you'll need to do your job, whether it's, a document that says how do the restaurant commissions get paid, or these kinds of things. All that information is going to be back there. So that's going to be a tour we're going to do next week. And then at the same time, after the tour of the back office, we're going to walk you through the commission structures of each piece of the business, what it pays out on each level, so you understand that more and more. As we get you up to speed over the next 6 or 7 or 8, 10 days, we'll submit hopefully here shortly in the next, once everything's done in the next week, we'll submit the apps to Apple Store and to Android Play. And once those are approved, then we're ready to go. You'll have already received your training. You'll already know about the markets. You'll know about all the things we're doing, and you can hit the ground running then. So it's important to understand some of these other things. Let me walk you through a few others. So the next training will be about the driver referral partner dashboard. One of the things as I mentioned, the Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Atlanta, and Houston markets, they comprise about 28,000 people. We have all those lists of people. So we're going to start dripping on them and the leadership in those markets, or all our leadership we're going to start dripping on. We're going to start dripping on them over the next week or so with email campaigns to get them revved up, what to do, and when we start getting ready to sign people up that are already in the system, and how that's going to work. So we want to get people moving towards that. Now, kind of an easy equation is, and the good news about Shanna, who I'm going to introduce you in a minute, she has a lot of experience in the restaurant, grocery business, delivery business. She worked for, no, not Grubhub. DoorDash, I'm sorry. God, I had a brain fade. So she worked for DoorDash. She's worked for a lot of SaaS companies. She's well-versed in heading up national sales teams and development of training. That's her job specific. So you'll be hearing from her and her team a lot as we start moving forward on the training side of the business. I'll be involved in a lot of it early on, but if you think about this, when they open a market at DoorDash or one of these other companies, they don't have a big machine that goes in and signs up restaurants. They don't have the ability to put 200, 300 people on the ground in this market. So with our ability to pay commissions on activation of restaurants and memberships and all those kinds of things, we should be able to line up a couple thousand restaurants each market pretty fast. And that's really the key. That's the reason why I got to train people how to do this, have all the supporting documentation. You go in, you turn them on, and then they're ready to go. And then the drivers are on the ground. One of the things that's important to understand, which a lot of people don't understand, and it's principally part of our problem, you'll see it in our documentation. That's why when we go over next week, the commission program, you'll see it there. But on You Share Your app, the way it works with restaurants is a little bit different, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised about this. So I have the app. I go call on a restaurant. The restaurant owner, the restaurateur signs up with us. I give him my app. I share my app with that restaurant owner, right? So now he's connected to me. So anytime that there's an order and a trip driver picks that order up, I get 40 cents. See how powerful that is? Every order, anytime that a trip driver picks that order up, I make 40 cents because I'm the guy who signed them up. So I'm the preferred position. Now what I have to teach, and these are part of the teaching and training things, we have to teach the restaurateur is to share their app with all of their customers or clients that they have. They could have hundreds, they could have thousands, depends on the size of the restaurant. He can email that app out and they can download it. And anytime they buy something from the groceries or take a ride, you also pick up that second level of 10 cents. So it's a really powerful tool. You have to understand how that works. And those are part of the training things we're going to be training on, because if you can replicate yourself to 10 people or 20 or 100 or 1,000 people, you can start seeing the power of sharing the app. So that's really important. One of the other things that we're doing right now is that we have our regular, trip rides, supported trip rides, call center support. That's for the normal kinds of ride share, any problems that any of the drivers may have, or where's my commission, anything like that. That's where that goes. We're engaging a service, an outside service that has huge amount of experience servicing restaurants like this business model. And we're going to bring them on as our backbone to service the restaurants and customer care and call center support. So we'll have all the support a restaurant needs, or if somebody got an order, they can, hit them up right away on chat, or they can hit them up on a call immediately, and they can track that order exactly where it is and know where it is in the queue, or if it's late getting there, or if it needs to be canceled, or any of that stuff. It'll be immediate connection. So we're just finishing up. They're a tier 1 supplier. These guys have been around. They're real, very professional. So we're really happy to bring these guys on board. Let's see what else. We've loaded up 599,000 and change of restaurants and menus, and that will be on a website called tripdelivers.io, but it'll be connected to the whole ecosystem. That'll be up next week sometime. But we've got that staged, but it's just got to get connected up. And that's a powerful tool, having that many, because now you have a resource. If you live in a specific zip code and you want to see what restaurants you can go call on, more than likely it'll be in that database where you live and where you're working. So that's really important to understand. And as I said, we'll be continually updating this kind of information. All this stuff will be in the resources in what typically call a back office or a dashboard. So let me introduce you to Lisa Story and Shanna Lockhart. I think most of you might know that Lisa was with me on and off over the past 20 years. We've done a number of projects together. She's a very, very qualified leader. She's Senior Vice President of Trip Delivers. We moved her over into that side. She was working business development for us when she first came on board. Now she's over here running this side of the business. Lisa has worked with me on a number of big projects, and then she went on in her career to work for Demandware and GSI Industries, 2 super large companies. She did a terrific job there, moved up as a senior manager. She also went back to university and got her MBA from University of Irvine. So she's well qualified. She's leading this project for us right now, and she's doing a bang-up job. The most recent addition to her team that we just brought on board is Shanna Lockhart, who has, like I mentioned, experienced in the food restaurant delivery business and also in SaaS business, which is hard to find somebody that has both those experiences and also training. So she's going to be the lead in the field, leading the charge on restaurants, grocery, and webinar trainings, and keep up to speed. We'll have a complete program laid out weekly, so there'll be ongoing trainings all the time. Those are really important to do. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to turn this over to Lisa. She'll do a quick introduction. Shanna will do the presentation, and then we can do some Q&A afterwards, if that's good for everybody.
Perfect.
Okay.
So hi, everyone. So we wanted to be able to demo our product for you. We're very excited that this is actually the first time we're able to do a full demo, a live demo. It's actually a video because Shayna, we'd have to switch between the admin tools and the ride and driver app. But it is Shayna walking through that. So we're very excited that we're able to walk through a full demo for you. Next up, we'll do, phase 2. Phase 1, we were laser focused on, let's get launched so that people can go to work. Phase 2, we'll work on the UI. It'll be snazzy. It'll be everything you want, everything we want. But I think the most important thing is we're very excited that we actually have a product that is working. We still have some integrations to do. We still have UI to do. We are integrating Verb in phase 2. But with that said, we are very excited. So I'll turn it over to Shayna so that she can walk you through it.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go over restaurant and grocery delivery. So what we'll do is just kind of talk about restaurant and grocery delivery overview, the difference between what restaurant and grocery delivery means. Through the restaurant delivery order process, we're going to see what it looks like to sign up a driver, to sign up a rider, to activate your driver at a restaurant, and complete an entire delivery process, both on the rider and the driver side. And then we'll also take a look at grocery delivery order process, complete an order, and complete a delivery through the grocery delivery platform. So restaurant and grocery delivery offers 2 ways for drivers to make additional income. Drivers delivery allows riders to receive food and groceries delivered to them via their trusted trip driver. And the difference between restaurant and grocery delivery is that restaurant delivery allows trip riders to go onto their rider app, order food from the best restaurants of the city, and the restaurant holds the partnership with Trip, and the order will be placed via the rider app. Now, grocery delivery is a little bit different. It allows the trip rider to go onto their rider app and order delivery of their grocery order. So the rider will first go onto their favorite grocer site, place the order, and then go onto the rider app and request for delivery. The rider will pay a delivery fee. So that's the difference between restaurant and grocery delivery. So now we will kind of walk through the order process for restaurant. Lisa, I don't think we're hearing the video.
Sorry, guys, let me unmute. Okay, start from the beginning.
So the rider is going to open their rider app and begin to enter their information, starting with their phone number. Once they enter their phone number, it's going to send a one-time passcode. They'll enter that one-time passcode and it'll bring them to the screen that they will begin to enter their personal information: first name, last name, email address, and username. The username can be something they enter. If it's not already in our system, it will accept it, or they can choose for one that begins to auto-populate for them. So they'll hit next, which will then bring them to the delivery screen. It's going to default currently to delivery. They can do restaurant or grocery, and they'll see what restaurants are open or closed. They can pick on the restaurant they choose. The menu will populate, and they can then order. Looks like we're going to order a burger and 2 fries and hot dogs. Then it's going to bring us to the confirmation screen where we need to confirm the delivery address. It's going to auto-populate to where you currently reside, but you can move it if you're having it delivered somewhere else. You can put in an apartment number, and then you load to the place where you can complete the order. Looks like we're going to move it down to 1 hot dog and fries instead of 2, and add a tip. So the tip is currently in dollar amounts, does have a custom box. It will soon change to percentage. From there, if you've never ordered before, it's going to ask you to enter your credit card information. And that's the standard information that it's always going to ask, like your card number, the expiration date, the CVV from the back, name on the card, and then it's also going to do your billing address, which may be different from the delivery address. So you'll enter that information here. It will ask you for your email and phone number just to confirm. So you'll enter that information and you'll save that payment. Once that payment's been saved, it's going to take you to the next screen, which is to confirm that restaurant order that you just placed. So you've done that. You see everything that you ordered, and then you swipe over to confirm. You will receive a confirmation text as well as an email. And then you can kind of track your order by going to your order history and seeing what step along the process it's currently in. From there, we'll show you what it's going to look like from the driver's side. So the driver will start also with a phone number. They're going to enter that. It's going to again generate that one-time passcode that they will enter. And then they'll begin entering their information. So first name, last name, their username, which again, like a rider, you can either populate or type yourself. Gender, your email, date of birth, and then if you happen to have a referral code of someone who referred you, you could enter it there. That is an optional field, and then you'll pick what type of vehicle you have. In this instance, we have a car, and then we're going to find our address. So if I'm currently signed up where I'm sitting, it'll populate. You will currently have to enter a state again. However, once we get our geofencing complete, that will come off. You'll enter your social security number, which will take you to the next screen, which is entering all of your documentation. So you're gonna upload your driver's license from your either photos, or you can take a photo. You're gonna have to do a selfie to make sure that it matches with that driver's license. And once you've done that, it then is going to ask for your insurance information and your vehicle registration information. So once you've uploaded that, you then will be done in the process until you are approved. So until those documents are approved, you won't be able to do any rides, and you're agreeing to those terms. And then of course, like I said, you can't purchase. So on our side, this is what our admin looks like. This allows us to go in and see what drivers are pending that have uploaded their documents that need approval. So part of our approval process is we'll go through, verify the documents. We can deny one or more of the documents based on various reasons, like blurred image or something to that effect. And we can also approve right on the spot. So after the 4 required documents have been approved, that driver then becomes active in the system. Once they're active in the system, they then will be able to complete deliveries and turn their driver app on. So it looks like we're still just approving a few of the documents here. And you'll see that they then become an active driver, and they then sit in the active status. So then we'll come back into the driver app because now they've been approved. So it's going to show us our 2 choices, the side hustler and the pro driver. They'll be able to pick what subscription model they want. And looks like this one is going to be the side hustler, and they'll be able to purchase. Because I've never made a purchase before as a driver, I will have to enter the card information. This is the card that I would want to pay with now. It will also remain as your monthly reoccurring card, but it can easily be changed in your back office as well. So we're entering our information. We then will have to do billing address because it may be different from where you currently sit. So all of that will be entered like it was for the rider. And then we'll again also ask for your email and phone number. Now, once that has been saved, it is going to bring us on in this process, which will allow someone to finally toggle on their driver app. So you're gonna have to confirm again that I wanted that side hustler, I wanna charge it to that card, and now I'm done. So great thing is we will enter ask then for your banking information. So we are going to ask for your routing number, your account number. We're going to ask for your tax ID or EIN. Also could be a social security number. The direct deposit type. So are we going to do this a checking or a savings? And then we're also going to ask your account type, whether that is going to be a personal account or a commercial account. So once that's been done and saved, you are official. So it'll populate to the map, and from there you can go to your menu and toggle it on, and you are now ready to drive. So from there you sit and you wait, and then guess what? You're gonna have an order come through. So it's going to give you a ringtone, and it's going to give you a pop-up that's going to say, would you like to accept this order? And it's going to then populate the the directions, and the directions are going to take you to the restaurant, and the restaurant, once you arrive, you'll hit arrive, and it's going to bring you into the information for the order, who you're picking up. Once you're ready to leave, you will then hit start delivery. And then once you arrive at your location, you'll mark it as delivered, and then you'll be able to rate your experience. So once you populate back in as the rider, you get a push notification that your order was delivered, and you'll be able to rate your experience as well. And then you'll be able to see that your ongoing orders will change along the process. So if you'll see this one moved on to prepare, and then the first one, it's complete because it was delivered. So that is for merchants. Once they are in their app, they will see the delivery list of orders that they have to approve, and they will be able to see the history of the orders. So currently they have an order to approve, so then they will approve or reject depending on the status. That will then update the rider, and that is the first step in the process before it ever gets assigned. Is that
All right, so hopefully everyone got a good understanding of exactly how it's going to work from the rider side, driver side, and then also the approval side of the merchant. So now I'm going to show you our back-end system that allows us to add those merchants, upload their menu, and go from there.
Okay, once we go to set a merchant, we are able to do so in our admin in the back end. So we're going to enter the restaurant name, their email, the city or market in which they're in. And then we're going to be able to pull their address from maps. So that part's really easy. We're just going to simply click, and it's dynamic. So you are able to search by name, or if you just happen to know the address, you can enter it as well. I prefer name because it does give you a little bit more security that you are picking the correct address. So once you've entered that, then you'll also put the display address, just because it could vary a little bit from their physical address. And then we're going to put in their phone number and put up an image that you will see in the rider app. So you just simply pick what you've chosen, and then you give it a category. So of course, this is a restaurant, and then you're going to submit it. Once you do so, it's going to bring you to the restaurant opening hours. Now, these can be changed per day, and they also can be changed per category. So let's say it might be more of a bar pub, and they have a particular late night menu versus an all day menu. You are able to give it a category where the times may vary. So once you've done that, then you can copy it to all of the different days, if it happens to be the same, and then save it. This merchant upload is great because you can see all the information about the merchant. You can make changes, and then we can also upload a CSV. So if they have a menu in a CSV file, it's really simple and really fast just to be able to go into your documents and basically put the CSV file in, and then all of the menu items populate very quickly. So that is a very effective tool and is a great time saver. Can also add promo codes, and then we activate the merchants on our side. So once you've done that, then you will be able to see that they are able to be active for orders. You can temporarily disable someone or disable the merchant permanently. So that is how we on the Trip side are uploading merchants into.
Okay, so that's our merchant panel that allows us to put the merchants in, allows us to upload their menu via that CSV file, or we can manually upload if they don't happen to have a CSV. So now we're going to take a little spin through grocery delivery.
Now, grocery delivery, once the rider has already made orders, is really fast. So they're going to do order details, which is they want us to pick up an order from Walmart. They're going to provide that order number. They're going to upload the receipt, either from files or by taking a new picture. So they will upload that. They will enter the pickup address. Because it is based off of Google Maps, they will be able to type in the name of the business, so they don't have to know the exact address. And then they'll have a choice of having it delivered as soon as possible, or they can pick a particular time and day. So if it's not now, but it needs to be Monday, they can pick that in the system. They can add a tip for their driver using that custom box. And because we've already paid, their card is saved. They'll just slide over and confirm, and then they'll be able to also view that in their history. You can chat, and then for the driver, it will populate, we accepted the order. It's going to tell us exactly how to get there via the map. Now, once we arrive, we'll hit arrive. It'll give us the information of who we're going to be ordering for. Currently, it says cash to be collected, $8. Obviously, we're not going to be collecting anything because it's already been collected in the app. So that wording will soon change. Once you arrive at your location, you'll hit deliver, and then you'll be able to rate your experience the same you did within the restaurant delivery.
All right, so that's kind of the walkthrough of the restaurant delivering process, the grocery delivery process, as well as the merchant app. So now I'm going to pass it back on to Bob for questions and answers.
Thank you, Shanna. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I was watching a lot of the questions from people. A couple of ones that stood out. How long does it take to get approval? Assuming that your insurance card, your driver's license, all the things you submitted are current and there's no issues, it's almost instantaneous. We're using AI and facial recognition, a lot of different things, so we get a better response time. If there is a problem, it just depends what the problem is. It could be, 10 minutes, an hour, could be a full day. Just depends on what kind of issue it is. But we'll have people monitoring that. They'll be online 24/7, taking care of those issues. So let me check on a couple more questions here. We'll be able to work in all of Southern California, Southern Nevada, or only city by city. I think you're going to be able to work by state. So if you work in California, you can work anywhere in California, or if you work in Nevada. I have to check on that. On the TNC, it's a little different, but under food delivery, it's a different type of issue, because you're not picking up or putting anybody in your car, you're picking up food. So I'll have to check on that. Hold on, another question. Everybody wants to know when you can download the app. As soon as it gets approved by the App Store, we hope to get it in there late next week. Once it's approved, then you'll download the app and you're ready to go. And by then you'll be up to speed on all these different things we're talking about. So you'll know how to go out and recruit restaurants and build your own business. Essentially, if you think about it, if you had 10 or 15 restaurants that you signed up, just think of all the traffic that's going to go through there. They're talking about restaurant business is up about 30-40% in pickup and delivery business. However, the restaurant business is shrinking due to the COVIDs and some of the problems out there. Somebody just asked that question, how do we update the restaurant in our database? Well, the ones that are in there will probably be updating monthly as to if they're in business still, we'll be able to tell that. But then the other ones you're going to be soliciting, they'll be on the active list. So you'll be able to see that. But yeah, there will be some drop off, but there'll be some, once we get through the COVID, and I'm sure everybody's watched the news the last couple of days, it's had a little bit of a spike. So Miami, Texas, and some of the other markets, I think Atlanta might be affected a little bit, but it shouldn't slow us down from anything as we get going here over the next week and 10 days. But the business is prime right now, particularly our business model is so powerful. Somebody wrote a second ago and asked a question, how are we going to get the recognition out there? We'll get recognition out there through a lot of things we're already putting in the works, which are press releases, news releases, buying social media in the local markets, plus everybody that's out recruiting restaurants and talking and sharing. So it's going to be a massive amount of information flowing in these markets pretty quickly. The business model is so powerful. You got to remember, everybody that's in the food business today marks up that food menu between 20 and 30%, and sometimes even more. We don't mark up a food menu. We have a flat fee, which is the membership side of the business. You can if you're a member, it's a lower price. If you're a non-member, it's $1 higher. It's a real simple business model to explain. I've probably talked to 30 or 40 restaurants. I had no problem if I wanted to sign them up right then. Same way with David Track. Anybody that's been out there talking to restaurants, it's a no-brainer. We've talked to some very, very tier one companies that are just blown away at the business model. So I don't think we're gonna have any issues. Let me see if there's some more questions. How does this affect on Instacart? You have to understand, Instacart is a service where you go into the store and that person will buy groceries, and those groceries are marked up by Instacart, or they prearrange the pricing. but it could be up significantly. A lot of people say, oh, it's only a few pennies. It's not. It could be 10, 15, 20% markups on food costs. If you're a family, and I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, every penny counted when you went to the grocery market, you know. And my mom she was a shopper, and she'd have coupons and blue stamps and green stamps, and so she was very conscious of the pricing. And I think this is going to come back at some point. Right now, people are in fear a lot. They're worried about it. They're going to get food. Can they get food? So the shopping services out there are doing extraordinarily well. Will that continue at that rate? I have no idea. All I know is that families can't afford to mark up food costs at any level, whether it's a restaurant or it's food out of the grocery store. So we'll see what happens with Instacart. They got a great business. They're doing well, very, very professionally run. But that's not our business model. Let me see. Drivers get paid twice on the run if they sign up the store and deliver.
If they signed up that restaurant.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. If they signed up.
I think it means if they signed up that store and they delivered from there.
Yes, of course you get paid. Is there any way that Trip can bypass not charging for a background check? We're not charging for a background check at all on the delivery business at all. The company absorbs that, so there is no background check. When we get back into the rideshare business, we're going to have to examine that and see where it's at. We'd like to make it as low as possible. We'd like to make it for free, but that's a big number for a company to handle if they're going to put 100,000, 200,000 drivers on the road. And you got to remember, our business model, this is really owner-operator business model. If you get your own merchant account, you control all your own money. We don't segregate your money from you and any of that stuff. It just goes from the rider directly in through your merchant account into your bank account. So you control all aspects of your own money. But we'll look at that. It's not something that, I'm going to say we can't do or can do. We just have to look at the numbers to make sure that, we can afford to do it. Can you clarify the 40 and 10 cents breakdown? If a restaurant, do I get 40 cents order done by the restaurant, or does my rider? So here's the way the 40 and 10 cents works. So when we designed the app, we said, how can we get this app viral and, put a little bit of money in everybody's pockets, but if people really get after it and share their app, and they might get 1,000 people or 100 people or whatever. So when we looked at the restaurant business, we said, how do we take that app and share it and do the same thing so it gets viral? So I go out and recruit or sign up a restaurant. I have my app. I sign up that restaurant, and the restaurateur signs up with me. I share my app with him right there. And I explained to him, you share your app with all your customers. You downloaded it, and now you share it with all your customers, right? So the order that comes from that restaurant into Trip to pick up that delivery is attached to that restaurant. And you're attached to that restaurant. So every time a car goes in to pick up an order that's a Trip car, then you will get 40 cents as a referral fee on every time a car comes in. No matter it's you or somebody else, you'll get that 40 cents. If he shares or she shares, restaurateur shares your app that you shared with them to somebody else, and they come in and take a ride or buy food or whatever, anytime they use the app, you'll get another referral of 10 cents. It's pretty simple. It's 2 levels, that's all. What's the next question? I hope you guys understand that. If not, just keep asking the question. It's in the FAQs. When you see the back office, you can also go to support and ask any questions there if you're not clear. This is why we're going to continue the trainings, because not that this stuff is hard. It's just you got this level or this level, and how does it refer? But once you sign up, your referral code stays with you forever, and that referral code's in your app. So there's nothing really for you to do. When you share it, when they download it, that person's connected to you automatically.
Will there be a video for restaurant owners introducing Trip?
Yes, there will be a video introducing Trip. That's one of the things our people are working on, and it's in the makings right now. We got the copy. It's all written. Unfortunately, the guy got sick, and hopefully he'll be back next week so we can get those finished up. If we don't get them finished up and he's not here, I'll outsource and get it done. We have all the copy. We wrote it all and everything. So yeah, there'll be an introduction to the restaurants. But believe me, if you walk in and you make an appointment to see the restaurateur, the owner, and you just pitch them, there's no food markup cost, a flat fee for a pickup. It's $2 or $3. They're all over it. That's the pitch. Is they're going to save money big time. I had one of our drivers send me that his friend, he showed me the receipt, spent $4,000 in commissions with, and think about this, he spent $4,000 in commissions 1 month with Uber Eats, okay? 4,000 that he had to give back that, you know, that Uber took out of them. And the guy and it was about $11,000 worth of food. So it's like 35%, 32%. It's a huge number. Our whole order system, if you just think about it, you know, if it's $30 an order, how many orders would it take to do, you know, 12,000, and just multiply that order number by $2. Look at the kind of money that somebody would save. So people are into saving. There's a lot of white papers on the internet about restaurateurs disliking the business model that they're currently having to pay. But if they don't go there, then they're afraid they're going to lose that business, but they don't really make any money. And when I tell you they dislike the food service business today because of the gouging that goes on, they dislike it. I'd be shocked if we don't sign up a few thousand restaurants per market within 30 days or less.
What's the year of the car?
There's no year on the car in the food delivery business. There is on, you know, ride share with people you're picking up, but there is no year of the car for, you know, for food delivery.
Rental car.
We don't currently have a rental. Let me put it this way. We have a rental car program for ride share. We have to go revisit that. We haven't spent any time doing any of that stuff the last 90, 120 days. All we've been focused on is getting the company ready to go. We do have a number of people that have approached us. However, you know, we'll look at it when we, you know, next 2, 3, 4 weeks. It's something that's not on our hit list right now. The hit list right now is getting the company up and running, getting people to work. What about organizing what restaurants we go to so there is no overlap? So we're not disruption with, well, those are, hey, Thomas. Yeah, that's a good question. I think part of it's going to get down to leadership. I mean, there's no way that we can manage everybody that's going out there calling, but I think if you guys work together as teams, you'll be very, very successful in the market. Particularly Tomas, he's got, you know, a huge base down there, and he's really organized on the sales side. Hey, I see Peggy. How are you, Peggy? When will there be one-page flyers to give drivers and restaurants and stores? We already have it. We just haven't sent it out yet. That's already been built. We just want to get the system totally turned on, and then you'll be able to retrieve all that information in your resource center, which is basically your back office or dashboard. All that information will be there. Anything from getting business cards to, you know, how the commissions work, who's in your downline or sideline, whatever you want to call it. You know, your stock certificates, everything, your stock option certificates, all your people, you'll be able to edit your accounts, all that. It's all back there. And that's the last bit of what we're putting together now. That's what we'll show this week. As soon as that's 100%, we'll do a back office tour or a referral partner tour of that, and then also the commission structures on everything. And we'll show you also the marketing materials and all that. It'll all be back there. Do you have physical promotional marketing materials for systems? Yes, and that's just what I talked about. That's in resources in the back office or resource centers. Hey Daniel, what's going on? I signed up delivery driver in the market that has not opened yet. When did they pay their $39? The $39.99. So a driver today, if you signed up today and you were passed and you could go to work today, you don't pay your $39.99 or your $99.99 to the end of 30 days. So basically, you to drive for free. You're beginning your money all that time as you're driving. You'll be getting paid. It'll be paid into your account. And then on the last day of the month, or not last day that you've been on, your credit card will be in there, automatically be deducted, whatever plan you chose on the subscription. So you drive essentially for 30 days, and then you get paid. And then the referrer who signs you up will get their commissions paid.
What's the minimum age?
Minimum age for delivery is 18.
He says send me an email.
Peggy, what do you want me to send you an email about?
What happens to the money that was deposited already in the past?
What happened? Well, a lot of the money's been paid out in commissions. So that's probably I would just email Art and ask him if you have a specific question at support@triprise.com.
If they want to just sign up restaurants, what level do they need to join Trip?
Well, you can join Trip free. It pays 30% on anybody you sign up, or any restaurant you sign up pays 30% of whatever the commission would be on that amount of money. If you're a side hustle driver, you get 40%. And then if you're a pro driver, you get 50 and 5. And then we have the legacy driver and influence. We don't show that on documents, but that's even at a higher rate. Those are the people that have been with us the whole time. We've been very generous with that. Stock options have been issued and all that stuff. When you see the stock options, the ones that have earned it, you'll see a certificate in the back office, and you'll see your name on it, and you'll see a link that'll connect you to the actual document. It's about 30 pages long.
I know you've answered this before.
Yeah.
This has been a couple times people have asked, how many restaurants and drivers do we need to open a city?
Okay, so that's actually a good question. How many drivers and restaurants do we need to open a city? I don't have the exact answer. I can give you what I've researched. So, and I'm going to use like Houston for an example. Houston has probably 8,000 or so, maybe 9,000 restaurants. You'll probably have 5,000 to 6,000 drivers in that market. You'll probably have anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 restaurants signed up with you to get going. If you guys get after it, there's no reason you couldn't open with 750 to 1,000 restaurants and keep building from there. It's a very lucrative model for you to bring on restaurants. You get paid within 8 days, I think, your commission on that. You get paid on the commission if you sign them up for a membership program also. So and that's how you build your business, because now once you sign that restaurant up, you fundamentally, anybody that goes in there, any Trip driver that goes in there and picks up an order, you're making 40 cents every time. So go sign up 20 restaurants. And how many, if they're doing 10 orders a day, if they're, with Trip, even 5 orders a day, and you got 20 restaurants, you can figure out the math pretty quick. Adds up pretty fast.
When charging restaurants to sign up, how do we speak about timing in regards to markets that are not open yet?
Well, you're in the process of opening the markets, you sign them up, and then the activation fee is a one-time fee. So we'll activate them, and then we'll just start getting the market going. So it's really going to be up to the people in the market to turn on the restaurants. So if you get 750 to 1,000 restaurants turned on in 2 weeks, you can start servicing the market. We'll be blasting away also on the rider side, getting people to use the service.
Will there be a list of restaurants that have already signed up?
Yes, there'll be a list of restaurants that are signed up. It'll be in your admin board. You'll see it. They're activated. So if you're in Atlanta or Miami, Fort Lauderdale, whatever, you'll go in the admin board and you'll be able to see who's signed up. It'll say activated.
Can you go back and forth between driver or side hustle?
Somebody asked a question, can you go back and forth between side hustle and driver?
I think they don't understand.
Yeah, you can. Here's what you can go back and forth on the app. It's one app. So if you want, let's say we're doing ride share, we're not doing it now because the market is about 70% off. So it wouldn't be, smart for us to get after that. But let's say we're doing ride share and we're doing deliveries. So let's say you came on and you said, oh, I'm going to, hit this over by the airport or whatever. So you turn your ride share on, and then you decide, oh, I'm going to do some grocery deliveries, or I'm going to do some restaurant pickup and deliveries. Then you just hit it on it's just a toggle on inside your app. Everything is on your app. Everything will be there that you need to run your business on. You don't even need to access anything through the web unless you want to just sit at home or something and on a bigger screen or something. But everything's accessible through the app.
When a delivery has been completed, does the influencer get paid from the driver, restaurant, and customer?
Say it again then.
When a delivery has been completed,
Yeah.
does the influencer get paid from the driver, restaurant, and customer?
I don't know what
Like
it means
three
by
separate.
I don't know what it means by influencer.
I don't know.
The driver wanted, when the ride is complete on the delivery side of food, the money that the driver collects is 100% of what the consumer paid for, except for in the case of the restaurant side, that's how we make our money. We make a couple of dollars to do the pickup service. So everything else the driver gets, that fee goes directly to the driver through the merchant account. We also issue a merchant account to the restaurateur because we don't get in between their money either. So if there's a food cost, right, separate of obviously the ride fare to pick up the order, then that food cost gets paid directly to the restaurateur. We don't touch that money either.
Can they deliver food if they're under 18?
No, you have to be 18 years and old. 18 years or older to handle food for pickup and delivery. Unless you had a family business and you were younger and you could work for a small family business or something. But our guidelines are pretty strict. You know, it's determined by the transportation authorities.
Is it okay to recruit riders, drivers with the current app?
Yes, you can. That's the whole thing on the app. It's to recruit riders and drivers both.
Does the rider pay their fee upon signing up or 30 days later?
The rider?
The driver.
Your subscription fee, again, is paid 30 days after you're driving. So there's no money out of pocket for you to sign up. There's no money out of pocket to drive and earn for the first 30 days.
Is that going to go away?
No, that's our program. It's not going away. That's our actual program for food delivery, pickup, and services that we're providing.
So is Shanna going out with the legacy drivers for getting restaurants?
Well, Shanna will be doing that from her computer. She's very adept at developing webinars and trainings and all that. But however, you know, she's in Texas, so you know, if somebody's down in Lubbock or if she wants to meet somebody or you want to do a training, maybe we'll get an office, you know, and have, you know, 50 or 100 people show up for a training. She could do that too. Any others?
You know, so far it's when in LA, when in Miami, when in Orlando.
Yeah, so everybody keeps wanting to know what markets. We've announced 36 markets. We're going to open 3 of those. We're going to start opening them hopefully very quickly as we get through this next week and we get some more trainings done. We'll open those 3 markets. If it was me, I would start looking at what restaurants I could open once your back office is up and running and your apps are up and running, you know, where you can start. I wouldn't be waiting for Bob McNulty to say, go open Seattle, Washington. I'd go open Seattle, Washington, because you have all the tools. You have everything you need. If you think you can build a book of business there and get in front and you know, sign up 100 restaurants, you're going to be making a lot of money very quickly. So that's the reason we struck it that way. The geofencing we put up, just so you know, has over 100 markets in it. So we've identified 36, and we put another 65 or 70 markets also on at the same time. So we think this is going to take hold very quickly because the restaurateurs are going to save. If you don't think $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a month in savings for a restaurant, that they can put that money in their pocket, they're not going to do business with us. They're going to do business with us all day long. Believe me.
What about the driver setup fee?
There is no driver setup fee for the delivery business. It's no charge at all. You just come in and sign up, bring everybody to the party, go out and start recruiting, bringing restaurants on. If you don't want to do that and just wait till the restaurant's on board, then you can do that. But you'd be missing a great opportunity to make some additional funds for yourself by, you know, bringing on and signing up restaurants. And don't forget, you can share your app with everybody. I mean, your family, friends, send it around, talk about it. You guys are going to be your best salesperson in the marketplace to talk about all these issues. Anytime you can save people money, they're going to like you. Anything else?
When will they be able to change information in their back office?
The minute we go up online, and we turn on the back office for you to get into. You can go in and edit any of your information. But got to remember one thing, it's really critical. The OTP system works on your cell phone number, right? So if you change stuff in your back office and you want to change your cell number, make sure you change your cell number and hit save so it's there, so you don't have any issues getting your OTP code. But it's you're gonna like how the office works. It's pretty simple. It's got a lot of resources, stuff that we may not have that you want. Just hit us up and say, hey, do you have this? Can you make this for us? I need this tool. We're here to please you and make sure you're successful. So if there's materials that we don't have, we'll make it for you. Hey, Al, how you doing, buddy? I see you.
If they sign up for a restaurant and the market's not open yet, will it be set up so they'll get charged when the market opens?
Yeah, we can do that too. If the market's not open, we won't charge the restaurateur. We'll just get all their information. We turn it on, then we'll charge them for the activation fee.
Greg is asking about stock options.
Right now, we've issued out, believe it or not, a few million stock options. And so that program is going to continue, but we want to get up and running first, and then we'll come back and we'll incorporate that in. You'll see in the back office when you get in there, if you have stock options, this stock option plan that we adopted was adopted in 2018. So it's 2 years ago. We don't need to do any updates. It's fine. But I just want to, before we allocate more stock options for performance, we want to make sure we're doing it the right way, making sure that people are being rewarded for their efforts.
Are Southern California and Las Vegas airports approved?
We don't need approvals by the airports in delivery business. If we are just, when we get back into the rideshare side of the business, we just got to file with the airports again. I mean, they expire after a period of time. Particularly, I don't know what's going to go on with the COVID. You know, we got to see what the new rules and regs are. Just so you know, in California, we meet every test against the AB5, so we don't have any concerns about whether or not the gig economy is going to be attached to us as that we're an employer. They're not. The way we've designed the business, because of the subscription-based business model, and how we transmit your money, we don't even file a 1099 on that side of the business. We file a 1099 on the commission side of the business from the earnings you'd make from the subscriptions, or the earnings you'd make from sign up restaurants or that. But the earnings you make from the rideshare side, we don't even file a 1099 because you're the owner operator.
What about chain restaurants that are nationwide? If we meet with corporate office, do we get paid for each restaurant?
That's a good question. They want to know about chain operators nationwide. Do you get paid for each restaurant? We're going to have a national accounts team that's going to be talking to large restaurants. If you have a referral that you know somebody there, then you'll be participating in whatever commissions. Most of these big restaurants, you know, they have a lot of clout. So it depends how we can negotiate with them and what kind of deal we cut, what it looks like. So other than that, I can't answer until we get in the middle of those.
We're signing up restaurants to our apps just like signing up a rider. Is that correct? If that's the case, whose phone number do they use? Owner, GM, shift manager?
You mean whose number do they use at the restaurant?
In the app, yeah.
Oh, you'll put the owner, whoever they designate is going to be that person that you're going to give that. It could be the manager, it could be an owner. It depends if it's a chain operator, individual, mom and pop, you know. So it's whoever they designate is going to be that person from the restaurant.
Are you able to pause your subscription if you're going on vacation?
Are you able to pause your subscription if you're going on vacation? No. You pay your subscription monthly. So if you decide to go on vacation, or if you want to pause your subscription, you know, let me explain it this way. If you know you're going to go on vacation and you're at the end of your subscription period, then just don't re-up while you're gone, then re-up when you come back. That's all. It's pretty simple.
When will Orlando market open?
Well, Orlando's going to open as quick as we can, because I know Norma Marie and Shamir and Carlos Alvarez and that whole team are waiting, but they're going to be all over Miami also. look, we have 36 markets. The key to this is all training and getting 3 markets open to see what kind of problems we're going to find. We're going to find problems. Believe me, that's the whole thing. That's the reason to do it this way, to find any issues. And if there are any, fix them. And if there aren't, then you can stand on the gas and say, okay, let's go open these 36 markets or 33 markets or whatever that number will be, because you can accelerate the growth very quickly. It's just technology that you're just putting information in.
Do we still have 3 months free for legacy drivers?
Yes.
What are the limits to cargo, non-food delivery we could pick up and deliver?
So that's a really great question, because if you inside our business plan, which you guys haven't seen, we want to do pickups from regular retail stores, whether it's Bed Bath & Beyond or Home Depot or whoever it might be, and like cargo. We have to find out, there are certain things. We also want to do dispensaries and RX. So all of those, some of those are regulated, some are not. We'll be rolling those out as we start to roll out the business model over the next couple of 2 or 3 months. As we see a demand in the marketplace, we'll go after it. But yes, we want to deliver anything that people want delivered. You know, whether it's in a truck, a cargo van, small car, a bicycle, a motorcycle, whatever it might be.
If people that we brought in are not participating, will the people they brought in roll up?
On the network marketing side, people you brought in are not participating with the people that brought in. I would think so, Peggy. I have to look at that, but I don't see that being a problem.
Oh, somebody wants to sign up. There's their phone number.
Wow, look at that. Green Genie, I love it.
Yeah, tell her to email Art.
Yeah, email Art at just support@triprides.com.
When will the favorite driver feature be functional?
The favorite driver feature and all that will be functional when we turn on the back office.
Will the self-driving
Now, just think, but for a second, it'll be on, but it's going to be collecting data. So it probably won't show up that you're the favorite person this week, you know, but as they start getting ranked and earnings and all that stuff, it's collecting data, and it gets fed once a month. We collect it, and then it feeds once a month. Then we announce who the top 10 drivers are in different categories. But your real-time commissions, or all your commissions are real-time. You'll see those in the back office immediately.
Will the self-driving car replace us?
No, the self-driving car, I doubt, is going to replace any real drivers for quite some time, maybe about 20 years. But you got to remember, a lot of the stuff that drivers do, they get out of a car, they pick up a luggage for a customer. They're going to get in and out of a car to pick up a pizza delivery or a meal or whatever. So the notion that, you know, and I know these guys are way smarter than anybody that have these big corporations, but the notion to think that because I don't have a driver, I'm going to be profitable is probably not a good notion. Maybe their business model doesn't work, because we think that we're going to get profitable very quickly by having drivers. Not having drivers, I don't think is smart. Personally, that's my personal opinion. So if they don't want to have drivers, great. They can all come here and go to work.
If a driver signs up a restaurant through a manager and another driver signs up the same restaurant through the owner, which sign up takes precedence?
Okay, so first of all, there's no precedence. You either sign the person up and they're activated, or they're not. So if you're trying to sign somebody up, you'll see they're activated, and if they're not, you sign them up and activate them. If there's a tie, maybe you guys flip a coin and, you know, go out for a burger or something. I mean, those are tough questions, but those are going to be few and far between, I think. Okay.
Same thing, promotional. Competitors.
Hold on. How do I get plugged into the Miami Fort Lauderdale leadership to assist and work with to help the company? There's a number, and there's Aries too. Aries, I'm going to answer that question for you in a second. The Fort Lauderdale, Miami, right now we have 4 or 5 different leader groups down there. Tomas Dobley is one of them. There's a whole bunch of them down there. Why don't you send a email to support@TripRides, and we'll connect you with people in that market. That's probably the best way to do it. One of the things that Eric just asked me, what about food trucks? And what's interesting, I had no clue about food trucks. David Track has a huge wealth of knowledge about, food trucks. And he educated me on that along with Eris. And we're going to be doing food trucks. It's a big business. There's like 250,000 food trucks in the United States. So we'll be adding that to the party, but it's going to be 60 days down the road. We got plenty of stuff on our plate to work out first, then going after the 250,000 food trucks. But that's a very, very lucrative business, we think. I'm a visual learner. Can you show the difference between a delivery from Uber Eats?
Yeah, it's on the last webinar on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay, so she just sent that out.
I said
But just think of it this way: if they're charging 30% on, let's say it's a $30 order, right? And it's 30% on top of the $30 order. You can see what the food costs are. So that one single order for us to pick up is $2 or $3. That's the kind of money they're saving. And then the driver gets all the money except for whatever tolls or whatever happen. But they get, the time and distance, they get the cancellation fee, all of that, and the tip. And so that goes to them. So it's very lucrative for everybody, we think. We'll have to see how the market bears out. I think that prices actually may go up a little bit on the delivery side for the general consumer. And that's a kind of a good thing. We'll stay with the market. So if the market moves up, we'll move up. That means the driver makes more money.
Do we still get a car bonus for signing up 67 drivers?
A car bonus for 67 drivers. No, all of this has changed. That was all the old stuff that we were doing. Everything we have is on the website. If you go to triprides.com, TRYP, rides.com, or what's the other ones we have? Tripdelivers.com. They're all on one website. You can see all the different programs on there. If you haven't done it yet, you should go and take a look.
They can't log in to
Okay.
the app
When?
right now.
Well, no, you can't log into the app because we haven't issued the app yet. So.
Okay. Somebody says they're not getting responses to their questions.
Well, what's the question?
Ask Alex. What's your question, Alex?
Alex, you got a question for me? I was at the Van Nuys Airport, very busy with private jets. Maybe a synergy for cargo and private jets. Great idea. Great idea, Lance.
Alex's question is: Trip Rides focusing now only on food deliveries?
Okay, so the reason we pivoted to the food delivery business, when COVID's hit, it knocked out about 70% of the rideshare, probably greater than that in Las Vegas, because Las Vegas, typically we get 700,000 people a week in town here, maybe more. Most of that dried up. Obviously, the casinos closed. There's no convention business. Casinos just opened. However, it's really still dependent on the convention business. So that business is kind of dried up. It's off 50, 60%. Every time you hear something like today that Miami is shutting down for the 4th of July, so that even hurts it even more because people are not going places where they're jumping in and out of cars and stuff. So we made a pivot 3.5 months ago to get in the delivery business. We put a lot of time and energy understanding that business. And we thought if we came up with a very, powerful, disruptive business model using the same tools that we have a really good shot at being successful in that space. So we chose to do that. We went down the road. We've been at it 3.5 months. We're almost there now. I mean, we've turned this company around. It doesn't even look like the same company with what we're doing. But do we want to go back in the rideshare business? Yes. Once the market's there that people can make a living at and be productive at, but just turning it on and saying, hey, go out there and do a ride and there's no customers, it's kind of self-defeating. So that's why we came up with the alternative, do this. And this is the fastest growing part of the market. And in real terms, if you look at the size of the food industry, restaurants and grocery, it's almost $2 trillion in the United States. And if you think 5% or 10% of that is going to be deliveries, then you want to be in that space because it's 5 times bigger, 10 times bigger than the rideshare industry in the United States. So that's why we picked that business. And we want to pure play. We don't want to be something we're not. Like Instacart's picked their lane, Uber Eats has picked their lane. They're marking up food. They're marking up this. We just want to be the best delivery service in town. Just provide a great service, great training, provide great pricing to the restaurants, the pickup side, the consumer. And if you do that well, you win. It's not that complicated, but you have to be focused on a strategy. And listen, when we get rolling here quickly, it's going to freak a lot of our competitors out because, it just will. The business model's too powerful. Let me take a couple more questions. Part of also drivers. You see anything else down here?
Are there any trainers in Atlanta?
Hold on just a second. My fiance placed an order last weekend with Uber Eats and requested to meet her at the door. She received notification that the food was delivered. It was not delivered. If we have the option to leave at the door, should we also have the mandate that the driver contact the customer? Yeah, I mean, I think if it's a drop off by the door, they should notify the person that ordered it. Hey, I'm at the door, so they know they're there, instead of saying it was at the door. I read one similar to this last week where I'm laughing because it was just horrible. The customer ordered food, and so somehow the food order got canceled, but he got charged, and he went down into the parking lot to go buy some food someplace, I guess get in his own car, and he saw the Uber driver eating his food in the car. So it was kind of crazy, but and maybe it's not a true story, I don't know, but I read it, so it doesn't make it so, I guess. But anyway, guys, we're running on a little over an hour and 12 minutes on this. I just want to thank everybody. I'll be doing some YouTube announcements probably on Monday. Once I get updated on a few more things, I'll let you know when the next webinars are coming on. Hold on.
I got a good question.
Okay.
If I live in California, can I bring in restaurants in the first markets that are opening, like in Florida, if I call them over the phone?
Yeah, you can bring a market on anywhere. If you want to get them on the phone, you can handle everything electronically and sign them up. Sure, you don't have to be in any of those 3 markets. I mean, if you can market from anywhere. That's one of the things, and I'll talk about this. But the e-wallet, the advantage of having the e-wallet is for if there's family members living outside the country and they want to help and earn money, they can help recruit, bringing on drivers or restaurants or anything, and they get paid through the e-wallet. So it's all international payments. It's fine. So there's a lot of things we're doing that we never did before that are going to help put money in people's pockets. And look, we're going to make mistakes as we get to roll this out, but we already know that. It's how fast can we fix the mistakes and pivot and keep it going. Believe me, we're all dedicated in this company. Everybody over the last 90, 120 days have worked literally 24/7. It's amazing the dedication that these people have to prove that they got the right grit to make this happen, that we are on the leading edge of something really revolutionary. And I believe that. Like I've said, you guys all heard me, I've been doing this stuff for 40 years, and this is probably the best thing that I've ever done. It's probably been the most screwed up thing I've ever done also, but we're finally getting it turned around. As David Track would say, I created a monster. I usually create a startup and then a monster. I created a monster, now a startup. So we'll get it there. It's all coming together. So I'm really happy. So with that, I'm going to say, everybody have a great weekend. I'll touch base with you on Monday. We're going to keep ramping this up. This is the countdown to the launch. In the next couple of days, I'm going to put the clock on it, so you'll see an actual countdown. So that's where we're at. I just want to wish everybody a great weekend, and thanks for all your help and staying in the game. Appreciate it. Thank you.